right, Lacey, last one, brother.
Sorry, I was thinking more so one of the biggest things that God wanted them to do was to remember as well, never to forget what his role he played into their deliverance. In addition to repent, but more to remember. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. Man, I'm elaborate all over that. I think y'all, there are so many things. I really want you to really think about what had to be in the mentality. They have the law. They were unable to keep it. They fell into idolatry. So God sends them in there. And that time he begins to speak to them through the prophets. There's so much responsibility that is on the prophets that I just don't think that we think about because we have the Bible so easily, for it. But for them, the prophets were reminding them, this is why we got into exile. Also, their history. If the prophets did not write down their history, their genealogies, all of their Jewish history would have been lost. It was also important for them to record it down. So for Jeremiah and the other prophets to remind them, hey, this is why you got here, but watch the faithfulness of God that you won't always be here. So it's to remind them of, hey, this is why you got here. Don't do this again, so that when you come out of exile, you don't repeat the same mistakes that got you into exile. And then while you're in exile, don't give up on hope, because Yahweh, even though he has used the Babylonians and the Medo-Persians and the Greeks to judge you, he has not abandoned you. All of these things are things that needed to be written down so they could be preserved for the Jewish people, so that they could remember the faithfulness of Yahweh, so that they would not continue to make their own mistakes. The prophets and the scribes had an incredible responsibility to not only record these words, but to preserve them for future generations. So again, I hope this is stuff that we're thinking about as we're reading the scriptures. We're not just reading a story, we're reading the faithfulness of God. We're reading the tenacity of people that really dedicated their lives to preserving not just Jewish history. Where would we be if someone during the time they destroyed the temple did not preserve the law of Moses? So again, it was so important what they did at that particular time. And the prophets and the scribes, people like Ezra, were chief in that.